Good morning, everybody. It's been quite a couple of days. Fred's just called me wonderful, and yesterday he gave me a hug, much to the amusement of all my staff. I haven't quite got over it. Anyway, so morning, everybody. My job is to move us as quickly as possible from Fred's helpful context to the point when you find out the new name. And I'll move there as quickly as we can. But there are some points that I'd like to get across. Firstly, 10 points, 10 fitness industry points about the association and where it's come from and where it is. The membership has grown year on year for the past 5 years. We exist to get more people more active more often and support our members to do exactly the same. And that will remain at the core of what we're trying to do going forward. We secured over £60 million of savings for the sector against what could have been due on music licensing. That was a campaign that a lot of people in this room were involved in and was a successful campaign. Whether people choose to go forward using licensed music or unlicensed music is their choice. It, however, was a hugely successful campaign. We got together for the first time the fitness sector and the medical royal colleges in the Joint Consultative Forum to advise the medical community on the use of exercise in the prevention of ill health, exercise in the promotion of health, and exercise in the management of disease. And that continues, and that will go on some time with big effort from other people I can see in the room in driving that agenda. We established a research institute at the University of Greenwich and running a groundbreaking research program across 27 centres. This is now the main program after the trial, which brought back such fantastic results. We need to have evidence about what we do does make a difference, and this is the first evidence that will actually be sort of clinically reviewed worldwide. It is a fantastic piece of evidence on that particular arena. We ran a successful pilot program with GP surgeries in Essex, which placed exercise professions in the heart of GP surgeries. And with the changes that are happening in the National Health Service and how that is going forward, we hope that some of the learnings and some of the things we got out of that will be used and will become used throughout the country. We work hard with our partners in the Department of Health to get physical activity recognised as core business of the National Health Service, and our chair is chair of the Responsibility Deal Physical Activity Network, and there is fantastic work which many of you are involved in going on in that arena. We recognise the power of digital and launched Spogo, our digital platform with Sport England. That's now up and running. The first bookings are starting to happen, and we're really proud of what's going on in that digital arena and the success of Spogo to date. We partnered with ASDA to run a fantastic project, ASDA Active, which helped over 60,000 people get active during 2012 and generated unique insight into family activity drivers, and we look forward to working again with ASDA in 2013. Our Vanguard group now includes a much broader range of partners, such as Danone, Slimming World, and Premier Sport, all who have come together to help us today. And all this with a permanent staff of just 23. Yeah, there are contractors, and we're up to 40 with what's happening with ASDA and with Spogo right now, but that is a hard-working 23 individuals at the FIA offices. And now many of you know that our membership is actually far from just the commercial gyms, the core from where we started. It includes, for example, Leisure Trust. We consider that to be a crucial part of what we're doing going forward. Local authority leisure operators, sports program providers, walking groups, outdoor exercise providers, well-being partners, charities, equipment suppliers, education and training providers. Everybody who we believe can help drive the more people, more active, more often mission forward. There is no better example of our diversity than this event. I'm delighted that the room today includes partners such as the medical community, Chartered Society of Physiotherapy are here, Royal College of Psychiatrists are here, Royal College of Nursing are here. Brands, I've mentioned some of them, but also Coca-Cola and E.ON are here. Government partners, Cabinet Office, Department of Health, crucial partners for us. Charities, Macmillan's, Tommy's, national governing bodies of sport, Amateur Boxing Association, Amateur Swimming Association, UK Athletics. In fact, now I'm going to be correcting Fred's statistic a little bit at the beginning. 400 delegates from more than 250 organisations. I thought it sounded good at 250 organisations, but 300 sounded better, but there's the truthful number. Yeah, all previous events, you will have all heard me recite the size of the first half. I said, in fact, Fred just done it. You may have heard me recite it. You've certainly heard Fred recite it. We represent 5,800 facilities, 200,000 professionals, and see 1 million people a day. However, I would like to draw your attention to the size of the sector in this room. Quantifying the size of a partnership with the NHS or corporate Britain is impossible, but our already impressive numbers would be dwarfed. Meaning working in partnership with just the people next to you, you can all increase your impact on the health of the nation. We're proud of what the FIA has done and become, but as Fred has highlighted, the environment in which the FIA and yourselves, as our members and friends, are operating has changed dramatically since the FIA was set up some 21 years ago. I think we can all agree that 21 years is a long time in this business. In fact, this time, 21 years ago, George Michael and Elton John topped the charts with Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Fred was wearing a leopard print lycra suit as he was delivering his Turek and Roll fitness classes. Thankfully, he chose not to wear it today. And the average age of my public affairs team was 5. 21 years on, the sun is very much going down on George and Elton. Fred is chairman of one of the government's responsibility deal, the Physical Activity Network. And although the public affairs team have aged a little bit, they still have that youthful exuberance and that desire to drive this industry forward. We've all had to adapt and change. One of the things I love about this sector is that the people just don't go to work. People commit every day to driving the sector forward. I've worked with so many people in this room who I know are absolutely passionate about making a difference to the health of the nation and driving their businesses forward. They commit to making the sector better at engaging with its customers, better at keeping customers safe, better at providing new routes to health, better at identifying what works and what doesn't to get more people active. That mindset drives the FIA, it drives me, it drives my staff, the team, and the board. And it has led us to this point today where we will announce not just a change of name, but the start of a next stage of the journey. We were established in 1991 as a trade association. And to this day, the service we provide to our members remains the beating heart of what we do. But you all have noticed from the list of things I mentioned just now that actually many of those go beyond what you might call traditional trade association activities. That's because some time ago we recognized that the sector needed to adapt and change, that it needed to grow and stay relevant, and it needed to unite around the single vision, more people, more active, more often. And that to achieve this meant doing things in new ways with a broader set of partners and getting on with it, not relying on the state to do it for us. We need to lead this forward and work with these partners. I'd say that momentum has been building over the last 5 years to the point at the beginning of the year when Fred and the board asked me to instigate a consultation to consider whether the FIA should rebrand and whether it was doing the right things. I will be more than happy to share some of the discarded suggestions for the new name over a drink later, but some of you may be disappointed to know you're not members of Fred's favourite, the newly formed Physical Activity Rocket Ship. The conclusion asked a key questions. Is the sector up for it? Does it recognise that to grow requires new partnerships, new insights and new ideas? The response was overwhelming. Well over 90% of you were in fulsome agreement that change was necessary. So that process is very nearly concluded. In just a short moment, a short video will play and reveal the brand. But as you watch it, I want to have these 2 points lodged at the front of your mind. Firstly, today is not just the end of a process, but rather the start of a new chapter for my organisation and I hope for the sector. Secondly, the business plan that my team and I develop over the next weeks and months will be focused on 2 very simple things. To build on our track record with more of the new and better of the same, and 2, to broaden more partners, a wider sector achieving more together. Consider whether you will be part of it. that nervous moment, hoping there's a clap and not a loud and recurring boo. So there it is, no longer the FIA, now ukactive. I haven't cleared it with Fred, but I'm just hoping I don't have to do my probation all over again. We briefed this out to a number of our key stakeholders, and I have to say the response has been overwhelmingly positive. Over the last several weeks alone, UK has received support from the Minister for Public Health, Anna Soubry, who's going to be speaking and is welcomed here today, the Minister for Sport, Hugh Robertson, the National Institute for Health and Clinical Excellence, the Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine, Sport England, the Mayor of London's office, the Youth Sports Trust, English Federation of Disability Sports, Sustrans, the Sport and Recreation Alliance, Sporta, traditional FIA members, LA Fitness, Fitness First and others, key brands such as Danone and Asda, and individual speakers from today such as Richard Caborn and Dame Carol Black. I'm also delighted to announce that the work that Anna has done in getting involved in physical activity, that we're able to get support from the highest level of government. Unfortunately, he can't be here with us today, but can I now read out a quote? I'm delighted to support ukactive as it launches its plan to help embed physical activity into the DNA of our communities by getting more people more active more often. David Cameron, Prime Minister. I'm very pleased with this outcome. It is fantastic. It is so great to have the support from the very top of the UK PLC. I think it better reflects the vision of more people more active more often and underpins a strategy which we can now crack on with delivering. I urge you to make the most of today, consider the challenges that Fred laid out, and consider how you and we working together can have the most impact on getting more people more active more often. Before I hand over to John Inverdale to take us forward, though, through the day, it would be remiss of me not to offer my thanks to Mr. B and Friends, the agency, who worked with us to develop the brand, and our generous sponsors for today, lead summit sponsor, Skills Active, who are our lead partner at the event. Please visit their breakout session because I know there's a new £100 million funding stream, the Employers' Ownership Fund, and the various briefings regarding the new Register of Aquatic Professionals. Supporting summit partners, Premier Sport and Slimming World, PR partners, Action PR, who are doing interviews, filming this and making it all available to us. And our other summit sponsors, Spogo, Change for Life, Asda and Danone. I encourage you all to take time today to meet representatives from these organisations and see how you can partner together to achieve your organisation's goals. Throughout the day, please remember why we're here. Our sector and the organisations in this room have a responsibility to get the nation more active. And working together, we have the expertise, structure, and passion to do so. Now, it's my great pleasure to hand over for the second year running to John Inverdale, who will guide us through the day. Thank you very much, everybody.